So the holiday season is upon us, and I know personally some of my favorite gifts that I've ever been given are, of course, plants. A lot of people know I like plants, and as a result, I often get gifted plants. So I thought it might be fun just to show you some of my plants from my collection, and I'll focus on the plants that have been gifted to me, because those are some of the most meaningful plants to me. I think plants make very meaningful gifts. Often they can be generational things, like I have this peony in my yard that was gifted to me by my grandmother, who's now gone, but it was her grandmother's peony. So here I have this clone of this peony that has been passed through generations, and the same plant has been seen over and over again through the generations from my relatives, which I think is really special. But here are a few plants I've been gifted through the years. This is a Syningia leucotricha. And if you look, it has that awesome tuber on it. Now the leaves are old, but new growth on this plant shows just amazing velvety silver leaves with tubular orange flowers that the hummingbirds love. And then my different Rebutia. These are all gifts from my friend Bill, who's a collector and enthusiast as well. Of course, you're here in my collection house, and not everything's perfect, but some really, really nice stuff. This cactus right in front of us was actually given to me by my brother, and it is old. I've had that thing, I bet that plant's over 30 years old. I've had it for well over 12 years, and just a gnarled, cool old thing. It's got the woody trunk. It's totally woody. It's like a small tree. You'll notice that some of my favorite plants are ugly plants. This was actually a Christmas present that Liz gave me. This is Opuntia reticulata, and it's supposed to look like that. What an ugly, super cool, weird prickly pear. It's actually a prickly pear, so this is just the way it looks, and I love it. Here's a gift that was given to me years ago. This plant's actually been featured in our videos before, but that's a jade. It's just a run-of-the-mill jade. This was given to me by Eric Fortmeyer from Fortmeyer & Sons Greenhouse. He originally hired me as a teenager back in the day when I first got into horticulture, but this was a division off the plant that they had at their shop, and through the years I've trimmed it, and it's gotten to be quite amazing. Now, not necessarily a gift, but with the whole thing about plants being meaningful, this is actually a 25, maybe 30-year-old peace lily from my grandfather's funeral. Now, you know, not to bring the whole thing down, but to me this is a very meaningful plant, and I just put it in the greenhouses because I have a greenhouse, so it's easy to put it in here. But just a fun old plant. You know, the longer they're with you and the older they get, the more invested you become. So I just can't let it go. It's just a regular peace lily. So here, this plant is in its winter look right now, but you'll see this amazing variegation. This is a clown fig. This was a gift as well. And one of my favorite figs in the collection. I collect a lot of different ficus figs. Now, they're not edible, but they are cool, and they're actually variegated. Here's a wild thing. If you just asked, you know, anybody off the street, they'd probably say that's some kind of cactus or something. It's actually a geranium pelargonium. It's a pelargonium. Yeah, who would have thought it? I was in California visiting a grower there, and I saw what I thought was a senecio growing on her fence line, and it turned out to be this pelargonium, which actually has leaves right now, but it does lose all of its leaves, and it just looks like some weird succulent. But it turned out to be a pelargonium, and I was smitten because I like ugly plants, and the flowers are pretty cool. It's a good one to fool people with, especially plant people. You ask them what it is, and they'll look it over, and very rarely has anyone properly identified it as a pelargonium when it wasn't in flower. Now, here's something pretty cool. We have a lot of cool plants from our friend Howard. He gifted us a number of very, very cool plants, but check out this variegated lemon. Even the fruit is variegated. It's a beautifully variegated plant, nice and healthy. Pretty cool. So here is a very special old plant to me. This was gifted to me by the previous owner of the land that Groovy Plants Ranch sits on. Jeff Russell gave this to me when I was probably 20 years old, and it is a very cool Deuteroconia brevifolia. It's a little terrestrial bromeliad. That thing's terrible to touch. But this is a very nice specimen. And Jeff had a real eye for plants. Jeff and Tammy ran Fargo Herbs before we bought the property. A little bit of history about Groovy Plants Ranch. So here's kind of an infamous plant. Of course, everybody knows Monstera Albow, but I actually got this for free many years ago from my friend Doug as a single cutting. And I knew it was cool, but these plants at that time were nowhere near what they are now. But that's a nice old clone, and this has produced fruit for me on several occasions. So a nice old example of a variegated Monstera. Oh, here's a shoot. Here's a shoot that's gone green, but producing fruit. Well, there you have it. That's just a few of the plants that have been gifted to me through the years. I hope you enjoyed watching. Obviously, there's too many plants for me to show you them all, and frankly, I can't get to all of them. A lot of them are very spiky, but I hope you had fun. And this holiday season, remember, Groovy Plants Ranch has some wonderful plants that you can gift people. We love you as our customers. Thank you. And as always, I love showing you my own personal gardening efforts. So we'll see you next time.